We are the sons and daughters of the soul. We are resilient and forever forward-thinking. We ask for nothing else than the opportunity to live and to create the lives that we were meant to live. We want nothing but an equal chance at options and possibilities. The same possibilities and options to live out our potential as our fellow man. We want to be heard, understood, and expressive in our reality. We are the future. We are the creative. We are here.
Hello, and welcome once again to another fantastic, exciting Tuesday. We just had an election. It went well for those who wanted it to go well for them. It didn't turn out for those who didn't turn out for. Again, it is what it is. It's America. It's called democracy, and we're going to do what we need to do to keep it rolling, keep it going. So, congratulations to all of the Dems. Again, congratulations to everyone who put their hand in that understanding, and those who got burnt, you deserved it. Those who moved on successfully into what we will continue to call a recovery, congratulations. And all of the beautiful women, the Black women, the women in general who went out and did what they needed to do for reproduction rights, again, to all of the agendas and all of the understandings that were on the ballots, on the tickets. I mean, democracy turned out, and for me, it was rewarding to see. So let's keep moving in that direction. While we're moving in that direction, how are you recovering? How are you recovering financially? Are you recovering financially? Are there still some issues within that financial understanding that could be addressed today? Well, let me help you out. Let me put you on that pathway to the exact same type of recovery. The exact same type of recovery. That's what I want to do. I want to put you just like this planet. I said it last week. I'm going to continue to keep saying it. We're in a recovery. It's okay to be in a recovery. And we got to stop believing all of these pundits, these individuals who keep thinking that they're smarter, brighter. They're not talking to all of us. Just like the Constitution wasn't written for all of us. Those pundits out there are not talking to all of us. I hate to say it. It is what it is, Liz. It is what it is. You're going to get it as understanding as I can bring it to you. But I'm not going to bring it with gloves on. I'm not going to bring it with the soft approach. I'm going to give it to you exactly in the manner in which it's going to help you move through this recovery successfully. Because that's ultimately what I want of all of us. Success out of chaos, which we had for a while there, a good stretch. Still some more out there. There's still some situations ongoing. But we can do better financially. Let all of that politics, let that still be the politics. If you want to focus in that arena, in that space, by all means. But let's look at how do we individuals, Black and brown, middle class, working poor. Again, I'm going to include those who think they are excluded. Whites and Asians. Come on now. I see you in the schools. I see you around the neighborhoods and at our malls and not at our malls, but at the malls and everywhere. Come on. You can't keep saying that, oh, this is excluding us. No, you're included. All right. Democracy includes us all. And finances includes us all. But primarily, as I'm always going to bring it to the table, I'm talking to those who look just like me. Black and brown, look just like me. Opportunities are failing. They're squandering. We're not doing the part that we should be doing, get granted, and we're not being given the understanding that we can do more with resources. So today's about resources. Today's about giving you more of those resources. So as always, my name is Tyrone Glover. I'm the Dress Down CEO of Leverage Credit Recovery, and I love what I do. I love it. This is not work. This is a labor of love. This is a passion. This is an understanding that I can keep giving you information, so much information that it's going to overwhelm you. This much. I'm going to give you this much. All I need you to do is that much. Again, yes, own up to your failures, but now allow for us to help you get past that because it's not about you any longer. It's about what the industry keeps doing repeatedly over and 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 over again, decades long of theft of your wealth. Theft. Theft. All right? Plain and simple. Plain and simple. And I can talk about that all day long, but I'm going to jump on these slides because that's what it's really all about, letting you know how we get down, what is so important about why I do what I do. Well, here it is, presenting it to you, a necessary conversation, correcting the narrative around financial literacy. That's it. I just said it. Got to change the way we think about things. Got to change the way that things have been explained, things have been put out there, and for us to be thinking, oh, well, I guess that's normal. No, that's not normal. That's not. I'm in a school, I work in a school, and I love it to death. But some of the behaviors that I see, I have to look at these children and go, wait a minute, hold on now. Time out. When I'm teaching my students when it comes to day trade, when I'm doing all of that part, I got to go time out. That's not normal. So what we're going through is not normal. We went through a pandemic. So the narrative has been out there that, what? We can't do what we need to do? No, we can do better than what we need to do. We just need the resources and we need the understanding. We need those like myself who are willing. Those like Dr. Yana B. Woodhouse who are willing. Those like my friend Antonio Kenyatta who are willing. Those like Matt McCoy who are willing. Those like Dr. Dennis Dillon, those who are willing, who put it together, who make it possible for those of us of color to be able to have the opportunities. There's an event coming up later on in the week, Thursday and Friday, that I'll talk to you about in just a few, but let's go ahead and jump through some of these. All right, correcting that narrative, moving it to an understanding where we all can benefit from that labor, that hard work. All right, so this is what it's all about. It's about success. Do you want it? Plain and simple. I'm putting it right there in front of you. Do you want it? If you want it, we got you. We're going to hold it down. Leverage Credit Recovery, Soul City Network, all of those behind the scenes here. Again, got a cadre of talent that, again, wants to help. But you got to say, yes, I want that help. And those out there who are offering all the assistance and we got resources for you, well, we're putting it out there. We'll take those resources. What do we have to do? What time frame do you need us to meet to get all this done? Because, again, success. You want success. We want success. All right? Next, financial literacy. What's the problem? Bottom line, we keep saying it's about math, and that's true. Got to make those numbers work, but financial literacy. The ability to function literally when it comes to your money. Just that's it. The ability to function. Financial literacy. And the solution, bam. Can't get any better than that. Leverage credit recovery. Leverage credit recovery. Solution. We are about solutions. No more finding and no more analyzing and no more breaking down from the big guys. We still have to break your credit down. We still have to analyze and give you a full perspective of, but I'm talking to the big guys and the little guys. So again, I'm got to be more precise when I say whom I'm addressing at which time frame. But for the little guy, we still got to we got to analyze. We got to get you up to speed because the big people, all they want to do is keep over analyzing. We don't need that any longer. We know what we have to address with you, and we clearly know what we have to address with them. But again, leverage credit recovery, solutions. You need a solution? Got to stop playing around. I'll give you until the beginning of the year. I've already said February 1 is where I'm just going to get it. It ain't already boom exploded by that time frame. It will be. So February 1, everybody be looking out. But we're the solution. We are a solution. And this is not to knack or to downgrade anyone else's understanding. No, we love you. You're talking about something that very many people don't even talk about. They don't even think about having this conversation. So we love you. We appreciate you, and we want to do business with you. If you have ideas, we have ideas, let's sit down together because 330 plus million people live in the United States. At the end of this year, I believe it's 8 billion, or I believe 8 or 9. Excuse me if I'm wrong, but hey, Google it. Billion people will be on this planet. finances go through every single one of them. So I don't have to compete with anybody, nobody. But I tell you right now, I'm really good at what I do. All right, we're going to be talking about some negative items, things that weigh heavily on your credit report. And the ones that I'm going to address today is going to be judgments, there are going to be collections, and there are going to be charge-offs. But you can clearly see this list is pretty long. And these negative items, again, they are all negotiations. They're all ways and means that will hamper and cause you to have a hard time getting credit, having a hard time with moving forward in that financial element. And these things are also things that can be removed. They can be taken care of. They can be taken off that credit report. Time frame, yeah, they've said this, they said that, and so forth and so on. I'm going to tell you this. If you do nothing, it stays there. If you do nothing, it stays there. So why not do something? Why not find out a way, if it's even possible? It's possible. All right? If it's even possible for these things to come off, they come off all the time. You have to orchestrate them properly. You have to stay on a certain understanding because you're dealing with a computer. You're not dealing with people anymore. With people, these things will be dropping off. They're going to be dropping off. But you're dealing with a business that is, again, going to do whatever it needs to do to protect its bottom line. I've said it before, you're a business. You, mom and dad, CEO of the household, kids are the investments, and your friends are your liabilities or your assets. Choose wisely. So, judgments, collections, and charge-offs. All right, so delinquencies and their results. Collections, charge-offs, and judgments. That's what we're going to be talking about today. Right there, that's the agenda. That's what we're going to be putting you to the test. The term delinquent refers to the state of being in arrears. All right, when someone is delinquent, they are past due on their financial obligations, such as a loan, credit card, or bond payments. This means a borrower's payments are not made to satisfy their debts, again, in a timely manner. Delinquent entities can be either individuals or corporations. Financial delinquency often leads to default if the arrears aren't brought up to date. So that means plainly, clear, and simple. You got to be on time with your stuff. All right? It's going to hurt your credit score. It's going to tank your credit score. You've got to be on time with your stuff, or you're going to end up losing out on every financial opportunity that could be there. And we're not saying that things don't happen. They do happen, and we want them to happen. You should want them to happen. All right? But there's recourses that you don't even have a clue that businesses have for recourse. And they're subjecting you to, again, their shenanigans, their tomfoolery. All right? Their jokes. Again, we're the laughing stock as consumers. What they get away with is shameful. Why and how do I know that? Well, when you give someone 30 years and you work for 19 different companies, you tend to find out some stuff. And when you're really, really good and all you do is make money for companies and you're so good that, again, it's never about the performance or the job. It's about individuals who are just so, competitive. There's nothing wrong with being competitive. I love that. I love it. I'm just good. And I'm not going to get into this tit for tat back and forth over nonsense. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm way too old. You want to talk about structural understandings of improvements and, as I said, solutions? We can do that all day long. I'll go back and forth with you all day long. But over some garbage and nonsense, not happening. All right? So again, this hurts your credit score. Really puts a damper and a hardship on your credit score. So the best way to get around it is to obviously not have it happen. If it does, again, let us show you how to get these things off. All right, so delinquencies, borrowers missing scheduled payments owed from a form of financing. The remedies by paying overdue amounts plus any fees that occur. So again, you don't want these things, and they will affect your credit score. So there are two differences there. This is what a delinquency is, and clearly this is what a default is. Borrower fails to keep up with a loan repayment agreement upon. Triggers the remainder of the loan balance info. All right. So again, it also significantly affects credit scores and makes it harder for borrowers in the future. So you don't want these things on your credit report. You do not. And if they are there, again, if they are there are ways and means to get them off. This is a part of the process. You want to get that stuff off your credit report while you're working on equally improving your credit score. So there's a twofold method here again that you're going to have to do. You're going to have to do it. Once you get the cycles, once you get the understanding in play, I'm telling you, you're going to be so in a position where you're like, wow, I could have did this years ago, but hey, didn't have the resources, didn't have the understanding. Now, as I stated before, the experts are here. We're reaching out to you now. Okay, citizens, we're reaching out to you. We're saying, hey, we're here now. You don't have to keep worrying. You don't have to keep stressing yourself out. We're here. We're in your schools, making sure that your kids are well educated. We're now reaching out to our elected officials and everyone else in the community, telling you, okay, we're here. We want to join the recovery. We're in a recovery. For those of you who haven't quite grasped the concept of what the last 2 years were, all right? That was something harsh on this country. And these delinquencies and defaults, they are a contributing factor. Some of you are going through it now. You're looking at your credit report, or you haven't looked at your credit report, which I think you should, because annual credit report is giving it for free weekly. So there's no more excuses, as I said, no more excuses. None, zero. If you have these things on your credit report, you need to start talking to someone so we can remove this off, and then we're going to focus on making sure that you have adequate resources to start rebuilding that credit while we are recovering. All right, so what is a collections account? So there are 3 types of different collections account, but what is a collections account? A collections account is what happens when a creditor has unsuccessfully tried to collect a debt from you for some time, 30, 60, 90, you get the understanding. Accounts usually don't go to collections until they are 3 to 6 months old. In this case, what generally happens is the creditor sells your debt to a collection agency for pennies on the dollar. Then the collection agency assumes responsibility of collecting the debt. You get a collection letter and a big ding on your credit report. So a lot of that is true. All right, a lot of that is spot on. But this is what happens when you deal with regulators and all of this. Again, like I said, I like to choose my words precise to make sure that I'm not being offensive, because that's not what this is all about. It's not being offensive. It's about being correct. It's about making sure that the accuracy of the reports and what I'm giving you, all meet up. But we know that they're not being accurate with our reports. All right, so collections agencies do 3 to 6 months, and sometimes even prior to that. All right, they don't have to wait that long. They can default you right after the 30 days. And they have a mechanism that helps them. Again, even if they choose not to continue collecting from you, if they can still continue the negotiations, you can offer them 25 cents. It's their choice to say, no, we don't want 25 cents. We want the whole $350 a month. But if they make that choice, there's a mechanism out there that protects them, that allows them to, again, charge it off, sell it for pennies on the dollar, and then continue to operate in the manner in which they continue to operate. All right? Again, you don't know what you should know, and it's my job to make sure that you do know. But I only have an hour. All right, so you got what they call internal collections, where that is the company itself that you borrowed the money from. They're internally going after you, and that company is going to wait some time frame. That company is going to wait some time frame, and they're going to wait that time frame because of the fact that they don't need to keep coming. They got millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of people. They don't need to keep coming after you. They don't need to keep coming after you. Story. What's going on? They don't. They have more than enough that protects them. Third party means, again, they're selling that to a third party. That third party takes over the collections activity, and once they have that collection activity, they're going to assume the responsibility of collecting. Now, some of them assume the role of the original creditor, which they can't do that either. So there's a lot of duping and there's a lot of shenanigans that go on in there. But the whole process is, again, you do not owe. Even this debt buyer, I'm going to say it again. There might be some out there who would love to challenge that understanding, but they can't. And I would wish they would. I really wish they would, but they can't. What is going on, guys? Jax. My apologies. So that third and final one, which is the debt buyer. The debt buyer, again, they buy debt for pennies on the dollar. Pennies on the dollar. They buy debt for pennies on the dollar. That should tell you everything you need to know. The internal person is only going to do that for about, like they said, 3 to 6 months. So they're going to be out of it. They're going to use the bad debt deduction. The third party people who, again, they so-called assume the responsibility, but no, they're buying that debt as well. Who just, think about that, who just assumes the responsibility of somebody to try to collect? Even if the original creditor can't collect, why would another party do that unless there's a huge payoff for it? That's all I got to say. Again, all this stuff is negotiable. All this stuff can come off your credit report. All you got to do is want it to come off. And then once it's off, we'll help you navigate through building and rebuilding and constantly improving on that credit. All right, so what is a charge-off? Now, charge-offs are really cool. I love these the most because they tie in with that collections piece. Because, again, once it's in collections, that means the company itself has charged it off. That means the company itself now says, we're not going to keep coming after you, so we're going to have some form of a mechanism that protects us because we don't want to be out this money. And again, as I said, giving it to somebody else and letting them collect it, how long are they going to take? So the business itself has to have some means of being able to collect its money. This is where the charge-off piece comes in. Now, the bad debt deduction is something that plays into this. Bad debt deduction. It's a cool IRS understanding that I talked about 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago. But anyway, it's very cool. It really dives into this charge-off piece. Do you owe these individuals? So what does a charge-off mean? It means that the company itself said, hey, we're not going to collect. Done. Do you owe them? Yes and no. Because again, you might owe something once they've collected what they charged off. If they charged off the entire debt, how do you owe them? Again, IRS, the IRS, that means there's some type of a return for that charge off. Business charge off. I hope it's starting to add up. I don't want to really make draw too long on that, but I really want you to really understand. Business charge-off, that's a write-off. That means somebody's collecting for that write-off. All right? So that means what's on your credit report is now going to be incorrect. It's now going to be incorrect. So you really have to understand the accuracy of what the credit report is not representing. It has to be accurate. And if it's not accurate, guess what? That means it's incorrect. All right? So how long does a charge-off stay on your credit report? Well, the charge-off can stay on that credit report for 7 years. Can. And this is what we all have to understand. A charge-off can. The definitive word of can is not a definitive word. That's kind of like well, you know what? I can wear this sweater, or I can wear another sweater, or I can wear this hat, or I can wear another hat. I mean, the definitiveness is not there. So that's where we get it wrong again. So can stay on your report for up to 7 years. You want it off, you have to know how to get it off. And believe me, you can get it off. Okay? Should you pay for the charge-off? Well, think about it. They charged it off. They got back all their money. And now they're going to attempt to get more money from you. That's not how it works. Okay, they charged it off. They got the money. Now they're going to try to get more money from you. That's not how it works. But if you keep allowing that narrative, then that's how it's going to work. I'm so sorry, but my nephew and niece are leaving right now in Jackson. It's okay. It's all right, buddy. I'll see you later, okay? Bye, Story. No, you're okay. All right, live show. That's a live show, folks. And again, my sincerest apologies. It's when you are in the midst and enjoying what you do, but the family also is a important piece of it as well. So I love to include them. But back to the business at hand. That charge off, again, it is a debt. For example, a credit card that is deemed unlikely to be collected by the creditor because the borrower has become substantially delinquent after a period of time. However, charge off does not mean a write-off of the debt entirely. That's what I just said. It doesn't mean completely. Because again, if they don't get back the entire amount, there's still a little bit that might still be owed. But you have to know that. You have to know what they got back. And I can guarantee you, they got back almost 100%. You think a business is going to leave money on the table? No, that's why they continuously leave it on your credit report showing this full amount as if you still owe that full amount. Your credit reports are not accurate. They're not accurate because the most important piece of what makes them accurate is not even being addressed. Okay? Having a charge off can mean serious repercussions on your credit history and future borrowing abilities. Why? Why are we going to let something that can be negotiated off your credit report? Why are you going to still leave it on your credit report? If we now know that the businesses can have a write-off procedure that allows for them to take this charge off and write off to number one, and then actually recoup losses, number two, why would you still leave it on your credit report? When all you got to do is just send in a letter saying, hey, I believe there's an inaccuracy here, and until they can prove otherwise, reasonable doubt, then guess what? Got to come off. And I can talk for hours about Maxine Waters and the financial committee in which they do their part to investigate all this. And that's where a lot of this information comes. I just put it into a nice, pretty format and deliver it. You got to want to know this. You got to want to know this. So judgment, this is the cool one. This is the one that puts it in the hands of the courts. And again, businesses are going to do what businesses do, which is protect their bottom line. It's okay. I'm a business person. I'm not going to do it in this such a grandiose scheme in which they do it here, but it takes decades to do that. I'm not going to do it at all. Again, I said it today. I have a destination. I have a destination. All right. I'm going upwards. I'm not going to be in purgatory or limbo, and I'm definitely not descending. Okay. So a judgment is what happens to end up in the hands of the courts. And it's beautiful that, again, you have a judicial process that allows for, but if you don't understand the process, you're going to get taken advantage over and 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 over. Do I have to continue? So what is a judgment and how does it affect your credit? What is a judgment? A judgment is a court order that results from a lawsuit pertaining to repaying a debt. So that means someone took you to court. They said, hey, Joe, I need to collect my funds. I need to get my bread. Up until recently, civil judgments were reported to the credit bureaus. When you owe a creditor money and don't pay it, the creditors can try to recover it by going to court and suing you for it. Yes, and a lot of times they go into court and it's not even the original creditor because, as I said, you would think the original creditor would always be trying to get that bread, but they know that there's a mechanism out there that protects them. They know that bad debt is out there. They know that they don't have to fight so hard because there's a piece that protects them from losing money. All right, we don't know it. Now you do. All right, now you do. So now you have, again, a bit more leverage to now challenge these things off your credit report. Don't dispute them because the dispute process based off of the vocabulary or its understanding and the definition is that that's something that you did. So why would you try to dispute something that you did? Now you're the one committing fraud. So that's why you can't dispute it. You have to challenge it. Just another little tidbit of information that hopefully you start using when you are disputing these understandings. All right. Yes, dispute it when you're talking with them because you're correcting them on their understanding. No, you're not disputing this in that context. You're challenging the validity of the information. All right. So when a creditor sues you for money you owe, the court decides on the merit of the case. If a judge rules against you, the decision becomes a judgment. And this is what really gets people right here. You get a judgment in the mail. A lot of us are not attending to that mail process. You got to go to that mailbox, please, if something's coming from the courts, if you're being served. Again, these are times of recovery. Don't avoid them. Don't run from them. Go to them. I know we're getting a lot of phone calls, spam. No, I wouldn't answer none of that garbage. But if you get something in the mail and it looks of a legal matter and you're not sure, leverage credit recovery. Again, leverage credit recovery. You're not sure. I hope you have friends who can probably help you out with that. But if you don't, leverage credit recovery. It's just that simple. You're a pro se litigant. Go into court knowing your stuff. Don't go out there seeking somebody who's a peer of somebody who's trying to get your money. Again, the judicial process is really a bit, again, don't want to be offensive. It's very questionable as to the understanding of conflict of interest. Very questionable. All right, so you could be ordered wage garnishment. Your order could come up with payment plans with the lender. So again, you would be forced. Again, it's okay if you got to be forced to do what you got to do, but why do we have to even go through that process? Why are we giving third parties who don't have any merit the now understanding that we're going to create merit for you because we're not challenging these understandings in court or prior to them even getting to court, which is they have to deliver it. They have to give you some form of an understanding prior to anything. And I'm talking about because you got yourself into these delinquencies, it's okay. It's okay. We went through a pandemic. The last time we went through a pandemic was 1918, over 100 years ago. All right. So I'm not going to hold you to absolutely nothing. I need you to hold yourself to something, saying, yep, you know what? I made a mistake. I'm here rectifying it, and I want to move forward. So that's what I can hold you to. And then if we choose to do business together, then we can hold each other to, again, what I start this off with. Success. Do you want it? Do you want the success? Because if you do, I got you. I got you. I can hold it down for you. All right, so I'm moving through these understandings. Here are some of the types of judgments. You got an unsatisfied judgment, you got a satisfied judgment, you got a vacated judgment, a renewed judgment, and a summary judgment. All right, these is, again, unsatisfied judgment. When the judgment is taken out against you, you are expected to honor the decision until the debt is repaid. The judgment remains unsatisfied. So that means get and take care of it. Satisfy them in one means or another, either going to court or, as I said, if you are incapable of arguing this successfully, find somebody who can. Not that very many people out there who can. I'm telling you, we can. Don't go giving somebody a whole bunch of bread to do this for something that you can do on your own. All right, satisfied judgment. This means that the debt is either paid or satisfied. This stuff can end up on your credit report. You don't want to have these things on your credit report. I know that moratorium has put some people in a precarious situation. I know clearly that the credit cards and student loans and all of this stuff, pandemic, that's all I'm going to keep saying. I'm not blaming the pandemic, but I'm definitely going to use it as a means of you to be able to argue successfully some of these understandings that might be hindering you from the ability to either establish or create whatever type of financial understanding you want. If you want to do it for yourself individually, if you're trying to build something for children and future, or if you're doing it for your own business. You got to get this negative stuff off. If you're being confronted with it, then you got to find somebody who can help you navigate through it. I'm telling you, it's so easy. So easy. And this is the part that really is probably going to blow your mind even most, the most. because of the fact that 9 times out of 10, they don't know that you have the right to actually challenge them, not charge, but challenge them. They don't think that you know that. And now you know that. You can challenge them. But they so are connected with the fact that you're not going to. You're not going to respond. You're not going to do your part. So it's going to end up in the judgment, and then it's on your credit report. Now it's at credit, and now it's your boss, and your boss is now asking you to come in, and now they're doing garnishments. Now all of this unnecessary stuff is plaguing you even further. Let's get in front of this stuff prior to it even happening. All right, so we got the vacated one. The vacated judgment is the one that the court dismisses after an appeal. You can get all of this stuff by, I'm telling you, it's so easy. It is the easiest thing in the whole wide world. Just got to show up. Just got to do your part. If you do that, again, vacate it, boom, out of the window. Out. Seen it happen over and over and over and over and over and over and over. Don't let yourself be in a situation like this. But if you are in a situation like this, or you may know somebody who is in a situation like this, now it's time to recover. All right, renewed, as known as a refiled judgment. Renewed, again, businesses are businesses. These law firms are shady and shiesty. I hope that didn't put anyone in a negative about law firms, because there's still some good ones out there. There's still a lot of legalese who believe in the judicial process. But there's some of them out there, I guess that ambulance chaser word always suited and fit, so I guess I can use it in this context. Yeah, they are just, again, sorry. I wish they had never gotten into this, but now that they're into it, I'm hoping that through this process, we can get some of them out of it. And they're committing fraud, and they don't deserve to be in that process of the judicial piece that is ruling against us citizens when it comes to these trivial matters right here. Trivial. They're just banking off fraud. I think it needs to be called out. That's just me. So again, they refile the judgment when the creditor chooses to seek a new judgment. So they didn't win the first one, so they're going to refile. And there you are. You're back at it again, but it's okay. If you know your rights, then enact those rights. Use them. And all I'm doing is, as I told you, I'm giving you so much information for you to walk away with doing that much. All right, so the summary judgment. The summary judgment is when the court makes a judgment without a trial. That means you didn't show up. This happens in either party moves for a summary judgment because they are not disagreeing about the facts of the case and want what is owed. All right, again, you didn't show up. The judge is going to make a summary judgment ruling. You're now on the hook for that amount. Show up to these understandings. If you are unsure, you're going to jail or whatever the case, no, you're not. This is civil. Civil matters, again, you might have to pay something, might be a heavier fine to it, but that's about it. But don't let it go that far. That's what this is all about. Don't let none of this delinquencies, collections, charge-offs, don't let them get to the point where they're keeping you up at night, where they're hindering your relationships with whomever. Don't. These are trivial situations that businesses are banking off of, that collections companies are banking off of, that law firms are banking off of, that what do they call it? Debt collectors are banking off. It's a commodity. So everybody gets a little piece, and you, the consumer, are the ones sitting there mind boggled as to why and how come. Well, I can tell you why, and I can tell you how come. Now I'm going to ask you, do you want success? What do you want to do about it? All right, so here's some great ways of reestablishing and rebuilding credit sources. All right, unsecured lines of credit. I mean, as you recover, as you remove some of the negatives, and then once you remove them and once you start having conversations about them, don't let anyone throw it back in your face. Not even the new institutions that you're going to be dealing with, because there's a bunch of them that popped up over the recent months. I mean, the amount of financial products and services that are out there. But the one thing that you have to be careful with, if they're not reporting it properly. And this is where, again, you're going to constantly keep getting dinged and hit because they're not doing it. You're not talking to people any longer. You're talking to computers. So that means your brain has to kind of function and operate just like that. We got a process that we are putting in play to help individuals be able to manage that credit very successfully. Because if you do that, I'm telling you, once these issues that are from the past are out of the way and you're now in that full-on recovery with, again, creating new credit relationships and building stronger financial understandings with how you're going to manage that money moving forward, you're going to need these products. So unsecured lines, there's the lowest of interest rate options. Payments and monthlies are flexible, and again, there's stability. Woo, been talking a lot this week. But my whole point is, again, you got three understandings here. The first one is that unsecured product, how to apply each time. If you need a new loan, you have to apply. And the documents, underwriting, and approval. So even though you have to go through that, if you're already on a successful track, guess what? That's going to be real simple. If you've already navigated your way through, think about the next 3 months. Just 3 months. Give yourself 90 days. 90 days. Recover as the nation itself recovers for the brand new year, and then start looking at some of these products to help build you into that new credit relationship that you're going to need. Lines of credit, only pay if you use it. More control over spending, less impulse spending than a credit card. Typically for emergencies, yes, again, we're always in some form of an emergency. More flexible than an unsecured loan, and no need to apply for a loan each time you need one. So again, it's just another way of being able to get that credit mix onto that reestablished, or again, you're just starting out. This applies both as an individual and it applies equally as a business. All right, and then that final third column is credit cards, the highest interest rate options. Businesses is going to make that bread. I'm telling you, they're going to make their money. The highest. Visa, MasterCard, everybody's got to get a little piece. So if you happen to get a credit card, you can get a unsecured credit card, or you can get a secured credit card. Unsecured basically means you're securing it with your own funds. You are securing it, so more or less, even if you see 14, 18, 19, 20% on that application, you're securing it with your own resources so that interest doesn't apply. Does it make sense? You're securing it with your own money. So you're not borrowing any money, so the interest doesn't apply. Period. They just have to put it on there for disclosure purposes. But if you're getting a credit card, yes, you're borrowing that money from a financial institution, so that interest is going to apply. All right, so start off with something where the interest is not going to apply. Work yourself into a much favorable understanding, and then if they decide to offer you something down the road, you're going to look way more attractive. All right, but you can still choose whichever method you want to choose. I still would go with the unsecured because you're spending that money already. If you're reestablishing, or if you're new to this process, you're already spending that money. Why? I told you, I know you better than you know yourself when it comes to your spending, when it comes to you as a consumer. Been in business a long time. I loved it. I appreciated it. It gave me such an insight. Now I'm able to take that and apply it to what I'm doing right here now with you today, and also equally in them schools. We're going to be knocking down doors when it comes to how we must put this into our schools when it comes to financial literacy. We're going to be knocking them down. There's no more excuses. I said it before. No more excuses. The experts are here. The experts are now here telling you this is what we need to be able to help us recover properly. All right, most flexible of all three options, can have additional benefits, rewards, and cashbacks. Here's what I'm going to say about that stuff. Gimmicks. All right, gimmicks. Unless you are a business doing hundreds and hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars, again, today, no. You want to give me something that's of value, lower the interest rate. That's it. That's the biggest thing that you can give me about. You just lower that interest rate, put it down to 1 or 2%. Then that's a reward or a benefit that I could probably benefit from. I don't need Kevin Hart telling me anymore what's in my wallet. I don't need Samuel L. Jackson. I don't need any of those stars who promote these understandings. No, it's okay. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. But no, they're gimmicks. Gimmicks. All right. An annual fee is usually charged. That's always the case. Their product, their business, they're going to do what they need to do to, and that's all right. Again, if it's too exuberant, don't go for it. If it's too expensive, don't go for it. You want to try to find products that have none of that, but if you tend to find products that have none of these types of understandings attached to them, they're probably going to be a low end product like the green dot that used to be out there, like oh my goodness, oh my God, there's so many. Open Sky is one. Oh my God, I'm drawing a blank right now, but I'm going to do a show in about 2 weeks. So give me about 2 weeks, and I'm going to be putting those lists of the products that are out there. And there's, like I said, there's quite a few of them. And these are low. They probably don't even have 24-hour customer service. I mean, it's just, I get it. We want these products, but the institutions behind these products just want money. We need these products, and the regulators who give the institutions behind these products, they don't do very much in making sure that there's that assortment of understanding that takes care of the consumer. So this is why I'm saying there's a cost to all of it, whether you get an unsecured or you even get a secured. All right, that security is going to come with a hefty price tag on it. Yeah, you might get 24-hour customer service, but they're going to be charging you 18, 19, 20%. In these time frames in which you want to do that, I doubt it. All right, so negotiation. Annual fee, as we said, is part of their money-making understanding. If used responsibly, you can help build your credit score and provide you with a net profit and benefit. A net profit and benefit. You got to want it more than those of us who are giving it to you or explaining it to you. So I said at the beginning that there's this really, really cool event that's going to be popping up here, Resurgent, November 17th and 18th. This event, from my perspective, I heard the gentleman earlier this week. He was on one of the other show providers, which is, oh my goodness, Dr. Yana B. Woodhouse. I was just trying to remember the name of her company. And Access Wealth Nation is the name of the show, and it's on Thursdays at the same time slot as this one. But the individual that's hosting this show, the Reverend Dennis Dillon, I mean, this just look at the event itself. It's probably going to be something that I think I want to attend, but due to other obligations, I will not be able to attend. But this is going to be something that, again, if you are an African American and you are somewhere within the vicinity of this area, or you can take the day off or get to this. This is decision makers, according to what I've been able to, ascertain and take away. They're going to be decision makers here, and I'm encouraging those decision makers to literally close deals. I'm encouraging those who are going to be going to this event, go there with an understanding that you want to close deals. Okay, no more talk, no more, oh, well, let me, no. Ask them right up front, what do you need? We are a company that can help any financial situation get to whatever point that they need to get to so that they can close deals. Bottom line, if this event is what I think it is, where, again, the power is in the room. 8 doors of access to the resources you need, all under one roof. Close deals. That's what I want of this event, for it to be successful for African Americans, for Black businesses. This is an expo that's joining 2 neighbors, New York and New Jersey, together. Close deals. ABC, always be closing. ABC, always be closing. This is an event that, again, Everyone attending should be walking away with a deal, or at least a reasonable understanding to a time frame when that deal can be closed. We're in a recovery, and this is a perfect, beautiful understanding of how businesses can now recover on a scale like never before. And then your boy has one going on for himself. The library here in Yonkers has said, hey, Mr. Glover, we like what you're doing. We appreciate you. Let's give you some more time. Every Saturday from, first Saturday of every month, 12 o'clock Tech Center, beginning December 3rd. I'm going to be there hosting and giving you, again, a necessary conversation. It's all about that. It's all about, again, correcting the narrative around the importance of financial literacy. You got to want to improve financially, and the best way to do it is to understand that process. How? Things that have been left out of the academic community for decades. I wish I knew what I know now. I'm not going to fail your children because, as I stated, I'm in your schools now. I'm not going to fail my nephews and nieces because I'm their uncle. But those who are of that age of where you know better, hey, go ahead and be you. But if you don't and you're unsure and you still got some concerns and you want to improve, what you waiting for? Nothing. I hope not. I hope you're not waiting for anything. But as I said, the experts are here. We're here. We're here. We're willing. We're able. We want to. But I said it before. I can talk all day about this. What we're going to be talking about is we're going to be talking about the topics, which is, again, will include access to credit reports, learning how to improve your credit scores, and the importance of, again, financial literacy. This is what we're going to be talking about. We're going to be giving you back what you should have already had prior to. But since you hadn't, since I hadn't, since I had to be schooled myself on a lot of how I, one, get in front of a camera and speak about it so successfully and so hopefully informative, that allows for you to go back and literally sit there and go, hey, you know what? That guy really, he was probably talking to me. And I hope I am. I hope I'm moving the needle. I hope I am addressing some of those concerns by those who are watching and those who watch it later. You know, Soul City Network is giving us an opportunity here to bring out valuable content to those who we already know are in need, struggling. Recover together. Let's do what we should be doing and what we should have been doing long before this date right here today. Let's recover together. Let's find a way. I'm talking to the Bowmans, the senators. I'm talking to newly elected. I'm talking to, again, that whole understanding that went on on November 8th. I'm talking to the new governor of New York. I'm talking to all of the local elected officials here. I'm talking to nonprofit organizations who don't have a financial component. Why don't you have a financial component when there's so many grants that you can get from? I'm talking to Jeff Bezos. He loves to throw around $100 million. Jeff, please, do you have any idea what a person like myself can do with $100 million? And again, I don't need your money. I don't need your money. But what I could do to strengthen and build the lives of individuals financially in a small little town called Yonkers, New York. And then from there, oh God, only God knows. And I don't even need $100 million. All of you who are looking to, again, philanthropy opportunities, I'm open to it. Go to my link tree. Go right to the link tree. It's on my website. We're ready. We're ready to do what needs to be done. We're ready. All right, so here's some contact details. The telephone number is 805-428-9424. Again, that's 805-428-9424. Yes, it's a California number. I'm in Yonkers, New York. You know you can move your numbers around. I brought my number with me. Why not? I've had it for 20 plus. I'm not getting rid of that. As I was telling you, my link tree. Link tree is the coolest thing. I love link tree. It's really cool. You can put a list of things up. You can go through, and it's really cool. If you haven't tried it, please try it. It's really, really cool. LeverageCreditRecovery@gmail.com. That is the email, LeverageCreditRecovery@gmail.com. And hey, you want to send us a Christmas card or an understanding, whatever you want to send us, go for it. P.O. Box 101, Yonkers, New York 10702. As I tell you all the time, people, thank you so much. Thank you. A necessary conversation has begun, and we're going to keep doing this. We're going to keep doing this. We're going to keep doing it. 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 We're not going to stop. We're going to keep doing it. We're going to keep doing it. This is what our mission is. And our mission is to make sure that you are financially secure, that you are financially fit, that you are financially stable, that you have all of the benefits of what these United States of America is going to provide for you. If you want it. My job is only to provide it to you, is to give it to you. That's all I can do. I can't do anything more than that, is to give you as much of that information as possible, and hopefully whatever you can take from that. As I told you, I'm giving you so much information. This is what I want you to do. I need you to do that much. If you do that much, the remainder of your financial life will be so in order. And even if you don't do it for you, do it for those that you are now bringing into the world, or that you have within your care. Do it for that. Do it for them. Decades of theft of resources has now positioned me properly to do what I need to do moving forward. And that's to help you, the citizen. That's to help you, my fellow citizen, my fellow brother and sister. And as I stated, doesn't matter. I serve. I understand why I put the hand up and why I put that other one on the Bible and why I said what I said. Okay, why I said what I said. I swear by God, all right, not by a party, not by an individual, but to God, that I will protect. All right, protect this country from all enemies, foreign and domestic. And I see we have more domestic enemies than we do foreign in this particular realm of financial literacy. They've harmed our schools. They've harmed our entities of being able to work properly. They've taken so much away from us, all because of the inexperience or the lack of knowledge behind a lot of our financial products, services, the courts, you name it. My name is Tyrone Glover. I want to thank you for watching. Please tune in every Tuesday, 6 o'clock. Thank you so much, everybody. You all be safe. Continue to, again, live, love, and be happy. Peace, America.